Hey, everybody, welcome to this week's Star Report. I'm Jason, and I'm here at New Dimensions Crystals and Reiki in downtown Brenham, Texas. Today is March the 20th, 2024, and our Star Report starts with the sun. The sun is being the sun. It's all hot and bothered. We have a coronal hole, which is the dark spot, which goes deeper into where you can see deeper into the interior of the star. Is Earth facing, probably hitting Earth facing today, maybe into this morning or overnight into this morning. And so coronal holes, as we remember, usually are a squeeze or a pressure or a heaviness. And when they start to be Earth facing, what they also do is they cause an uptick in the energetic exchange between the sun and the Earth, which is usually a prequel or a heightened possibility of earthquakes. So if you live in an earthquake zone, pay attention to that. And so that's Earth facing today. And so we'll be dealing, excuse me, all of a sudden, I've got stuff in my throat. We'll be dealing with the energy of that over the next 3 to 4 days. So probably look at that to lighten over the weekend or into the weekend. We've got minor flaring occurring. And so that's just some little pops here and there in the M class range at the highest. So X class is usually the big ones that start to cause solar storms and mess with technology. So they've been minor ones, and they haven't had any CMEs that are releasing going towards the Earth. So that's good. There is, or happened over, I guess it was over the weekend or maybe towards the end of the weekend, excuse me, that we had a plasma filament release. It released mostly southward, down from the sun, right? So here we are with our camera, at least mostly down, but a glancing blow is going to hit the Earth, right? And so that's going to be much like a regular CME. It is a glancing blow, so it should be minor. But if anybody's been watching the solar weather, even minor things have had more intense effects on the planet because of the lowering shield that the Earth has, because of the shifting of the poles. So pay attention to that energy. That filament CME impact is probably going to be happening into this evening, maybe into tomorrow morning. So pay attention to technology slowdowns and maybe outages if it's more intense than advertised into tomorrow, Thursday. And outages would be stuff like air traffic control the other day when Facebook went down all day, the other day when AT&T went out for a whole day. Those kinds of things are the things to expect if that is going to be a worse than usual impact. Now, physically, those things usually cause a little bit of triggers and emotional imbalances. So if you have any of those, watch for those to be triggered on that day. If you have any cardiac issues, sometimes that'll cause those to be triggered during that time too. So just pay attention and monitor your body for that. Which leads us, we're still into today, because I was talking about today anyway with the sun. Which leads us into saying today into tomorrow, depending on which you look at on the internet. Definitely, we are moving into the Aries season today. And the Aries season, alchemically or physically, as above, so below, matches up with the upper skull or the higher mind, right? Usually right up around in here into the pituitary gland, the crown chakra, and the higher mind. The idea of the golden fleece, the higher understanding of reality outside of the skull or into the heavens that Jason and the Argonauts were after, is the kind of idea of Aries. And the sort of spiritual understanding, I guess spiritual, sort of the cultural and or psychological understanding is what I was looking for, is really the idea of sort of resurrection, right? Becoming all new, right? And so this is the idea that the dormancy of winter, that stuff that was once dead wasn't really dead and now it's become alive, right? And the sort of alchemical movement that we've made through the body over the year has ended, right? So we're sort of having that last little bit of release. You might have been having chest colds, hacking up some stuff, some weird excretions from the body as you're releasing all of that dead stuff, right? And this could be the same thing as that last little bit of leaves that fall off around here, the oak trees, I think they're live oaks, drop their leaves in spring, not in fall. And so that last little bit of rebirth is sort of happening now. Um, and really the energy of that is going to be, or what you should focus on, the energy that should be really your charisma, right? So the idea of the energy that is generated from within the self, what makes you you, what makes you engaging, is what you should sort of focus on. um, um, that is the newness, right? So you're going to broadcast all of the new stuff, right? So you let go of all the old stuff, all of the what's left is a new combination of you. You're going to focus on being that out loud, I think is the best way to say that. I've got other notes here, but that's way down in the weeds. So leads us into today, um, Wednesday, the 20th. We are in the equinox energy still. We just had the spring equinox. And so think of the energy of today is really a little bit what I just explained about in Aries, but the energy of today and the spring equinox is all of the things that we sort of worked on and dealt with in the first quarter, right? So think of all your New Year's resolutions, maybe even the end of last year, Christmas, all of those things that have sort of been weighing on you or working on you, or you've been working with. Think of all that. And then the energy that you really want to do during equinox is the earth is doing all the things that we need to do, or that our physical body should be doing, and we should be assisting it with our spiritual body or our light body. The easiest way to sort of synchronize that and sort of make that all work together is to go out and do some grounding. So you want to synchronize your energy with the earth. Uh, Easiest one, everybody knows, go outside barefooted, put your feet in the grass or the dirt. Earthing, grounding. Second one is you could go hug a tree, ask permission first. Trees are beings in the metaphysical realm. And you usually want to do that not with just necessarily a hand, that's fine, but you usually want to do a chest to trunk kind of energy, right? And just sort of feel that energy flow down, but also feel it flow up, right? The earth is doing changing and being rebirth, and you want to get that sort of synchronicity energy back from it. And then the trendy thing now is to buy grounding mats that you sort of sleep on. Maybe do a meditation on that mat that is grounded. And usually they're using that ground as an electrical circuit that's in your house already. That would be a good way to connect and start to find the synchronicities of the earth's rebirth or resurrection in the springtime, much like yours. You probably already see that with the extra birds and the baby birds that are happening. Earth is rebirthing itself. All right, moves us into Thursday. Thursday, the 21st, we are still in the pre-shadow of Uranus and Mercury retrograde. And we're in that pre-eclipse energy. Pre-eclipse, first one's going to be the lunar eclipse. And so the energy of Thursday is really going to be that last little bit. Maybe not. It's never the last little bit, right? There's always a shadow, right? Because we're always light beings, and there's always going to cast a shadow. So it's going to be that little bit of for this year, shadow work revisited, right? And shadow work is not necessarily things that are bad, but just things that are hidden. But a lot of times that shadow work is things that we've hidden intentionally because we don't think people understand, or we think it shows us in a bad light. But when we sort of release or work on that shadow work, then it no longer has the power to control us. And so the energy on Thursday also is going to be influenced by Jupiter, and is really going to show the wisdom and possibilities of what it means to expand, right? So if we're here in this new growth period, a resurrection, then expansion is what happens at resurrection, right? If you are dormant and all of a sudden you're alive, there's an expansion, there's an opening up, there's a blooming that's happening. And so Jupiter, big planet, is showing you the possibilities of what it means when you can be your biggest self, your most self. So what if you were all you wanted to be and could be, is the energy that you should sort of focus on Thursday. Excuse me. Friday is really going to be the 22nd is going to be a day for what's the word? Cataloging is kind of the word, but reminding yourself that you're worth it, right? So checklisting kind of stuff, right? What are all the things about me that makes me worth it? Or why do I think I'm worth it? Or what things that I've been ignoring that really says that I'm worth it when I've been acting like I'm not worth it. Um, that's going to be the energy sort of left over from Thursday, that shadow work. You're going to be able to let go, or you should start to let go of worry that people will see the negative things you're releasing in the shadow work and judge you for that. Um, who cares, right? You're releasing it. Let that shit go. And so that would be good for a Friday. Saturday, the energy of the day, you should really be focusing on that burst of Aries energy, right? And so this is going to be epiphanies, high-minded stuff, but really sort of vigor, right? The uh, Aries is the ram, right? So think about just the mentality it takes to like bow your head and go ram it into some shit, right? You want to sort of take that energy and sort of use that Aries energy to rise in your own power. What goal do you want to lower your head down and fucking go get? Just um because there are no more secrets. There is nothing to control you, and anything that wants to use old bullshit that you've let go of and that you no longer are, they're going to get the horns, right? Yes, that's the energy of Saturday. If you're feeling a little bit energetic with all the stuff that's happening in the cosmos, I just thought about half of the people I think it would be super funny to be like, oh yeah, they're so calm and so sedated, and here they are headbutting everything. Reminds me of my 5-year-old. Anywho, moving on to Sunday the 24th, we have full moon eclipse. Woo! Full moon eclipse is in Virgo on Sunday, and so Virgo is an Earth sign, right? So that whole idea that you were grounding in the beginning of the week, and then getting this full moon eclipse in an Earth sign, uh, is really going to symbolize it's the divine feminine, right? So the allowance, the creation of space for, um but it's also the Virgo is usually considered the goddess of the harvest, right? So we are harvesting all of the good shit that we've been working on for the first quarter, so pay attention to that. um and what this isn't high, it is high-minded stuff, but what we're doing is during the season we're rooting this high-minded shit into physical reality, so that what we're doing now is for reals, not for thoughts, not for practice, not for what ifs. This is, let's put this stuff into the material world and sort of shift things into a positive way. Full moons in general are usually about cleansing, right? So every time there's a full moon, big crystals behind me, right? You put your crystals out in the full moon and that charges them. Some people say it charges them with moon energy, but what it's also doing, and what it's mainly doing, is extracting all the old energy out of them, right? It's kind of like an air filter. If you don't change it or clear it or make it easier to use, then it gets clogged up. So you're basically unclogging your crystals when you put them out in the full moon. And full moon is about cleansing and letting go, right? So if you haven't managed to let go and do all the heavy lifting of the shadow stuff and move to the energy, that I'll say the moon's going to force you, but the moon's going to definitely enable you to do that. And eclipses are really about final endings, right? So if you have some endings and some releases that are happening, this energy could be the time where you don't have to deal with that anymore, right? So this could be ending of jobs, ending of places that you live, endings of relationships, endings of belief systems, right? That you no longer have to struggle with and keep getting brought up, right? Whether that be in a therapeutic sort of form, whether that be, I keep thinking about the same shit in meditation, or whether that's the same argument you continue to have, right? This is like resolution that happens on Sunday. And the other thing that's maybe like some people like to avoid is high emotions or intense emotions. They like to sort of manage the emotions and stay centered and calm and avoid anxiety and stuff like that. But full moon eclipses are usually super emotional. So pay attention to the super emotional stuff and be uh, one of the things you want to pay attention to on Sunday is the I guess, the vision or the point of view of the passage of time, right? You're going to notice, or things are going to sort of seem intense around how long it's been since certain things have happened, how long you've been together with somebody, how long it's been since somebody's been gone from your life, how long it's been since you name it, right? You're going to feel time really intensely on Sunday with that. Yeah, fun times. I think it's fun. I think this is all good shit. I don't think this is anything to worry about. This is, like I said, this is like a weather report, right? If the weather's saying rain, it's telling you to bring a raincoat, an umbrella. Some people love the rain, some people hate the rain, right? So this is giving you the field so that you can experience it in the preparation that you need, with the material and things that you have, with the attitude you have around such things, right? If you have trepidation about emotions and change and letting things go, and that's been hard for you, it might be an intense week. If you're ready to let tons of shit go and you just never knew how, or it never really worked, maybe the eclipse is going to have some of those effects for you that you've been asking for and looking for. That's what's happening. Monday, the 25th, uh, opens the eclipse doorway, right? So we have the lunar eclipse and then we have the solar eclipse. So there's about a 2.5-ish or 2-ish week period in there where they call it the eclipse doorway, right? And that's really the time to start to try and manifest things, or where things can start to manifest unexpectedly. And that unexpectedness is not that you haven't been working on it, but like, hey, here's the things I did to have it done. I thought at step here it was all going to get done or be opened up. Like, this is the third time, like, hey, you did all these steps and blah, blah, blah. Oh, manifestation. That's the energy of Monday the 25th, which leads us into Tuesday the 26th, the last day of our report. The energy of the day is really going to be rather, I'm going to say that, focus on what's possible, right? So start to go, if if I am who I am and these are the things that I want, and blah blah blah, all things being, not even all things being equal, just what is possible, right? Not even for me, but like what's possible in the world. You want to focus on what's possible rather than something that you're trying to do that isn't possible. Don't go, oh, but I can't move, or my kids, or my job, right? Don't focus on that. Focus on possible, and don't really hold back on any crazy ideas. So um, even if you think that's crazy, that'll never happen, well, get that out of your head, because it could happen, except you keep saying it's never going to happen. Right. So that's the energy of Tuesday. Focus on all the possibilities, and don't really dismiss any as crazy. And then that's going to lead you into next week, which we'll talk about when we get there. But it's pretty, I was going to say it was a pretty easy week after the week that we just had, but it's a lot of shifts, but it seems like good shifts, especially if you like to go fast, if you like to go downhill, if you like to be brand new, if you're looking to get rid of habits, or you're tired of working on the same old shit. This seems to be the week to sort of let that go. So I think it's a good week. Of course, if you're having trouble with any of this stuff, these things, I'm here at the shop. Um, check social media for if I'm going to be in the shop, but usually I should be in the shop. There's a couple times next month, and so yeah, in April. So I think there's a week or so in April, and then also a week or so in May, where either I won't be available for appointments, or the shop will be entirely closed. Definitely in May for a week. Pay attention to that. Look at social media, Facebook, Instagram, and see, hey, Jason's closed, instead of coming to the shop and being disappointed. Sorry if I disappoint you that way. But if you're needing to do this and you want to book an appointment to come do an energy session, or maybe just you want to stop by the shop and ask me some certain things about how this is working in your life, by all means do that. newdimensionscrystals.com is how you're going to book that. If it's open and available, then I should be here and open and available. So if there's a slot, you can book it in for a session that you want. Go ahead and do that. That's the easiest way to do it, coming by the shop or sending me an email asking me to pick a date. Is not the easiest. Online should have that the easiest. And of course, we'll see you back here next week. Until then, everybody, many blessings.